mystery and horror, the air itself is filled with monsters.
Children of the night, what music they make. It's alive! It's alive!
Well, hello, all you monster fiends, and thank you for joining us for another deep dive factoid-filled episode exploring Hollywood's most famous monsters. I am your mistress of ceremonies, Sam, and I'm joined, as always, by Dan from Bleeding Marvelous. Say hello, Dan.
Hello, Dan.
I changed angles. Look. Straight on, still looking this way. Don't know why. Don't know why. Oh, it feels like a minute. Even though I know you saw us on
us
Monday.
it has been, yeah. Them, no, magic.
No. The magic of internet.
As
yes,
you can
it
see,
feels like
I'm well tanned. Look at that tan.
Look at that fluorescent tan.
I'm just purely glowing, aren't I?
Look at that ring, though, lady. Bless
That
your
one.
ring. Hey, congratulations.
Thank you.
So did you have a fun holiday?
Yes, busy but fun. Yeah, because I'm not a poolside dweller. I get bored really easily if I do stuff like that. I feel like I have to see things if I'm on holiday and do things. So yeah, we did a lot and saw a lot. I saw Five Nights at Freddy's whilst I was out. Actually, I saw it the day before it came out here, and I wasn't impressed. But then again, I haven't played the game. And anyone I spoke to that has played the game said it was very true to the atmosphere, the ethos of the game. But I didn't stay for the end credits because I didn't realise there was an end credit at the end. So yeah, but apparently people were going like nuts over this end credit bit. But for what it was okay. It was a bit weird.
I've got no interest. Like, no,
I
did it. Do you know what? I actually did it first, and then when it came out, this is me all over. I get on that hype train, and then as soon as it comes out, like, meh, I can wait.
Matt Lillard was what it was that sold it for me, because obviously he could literally sit there and read the dictionary, and I think I'd watch it. So
yeah, it's true. And we are just coming off the back of Full of a Horror as well. What a weekend! What a weekend for you guys!
Most successful show we've had since 2019.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, us horror lovers, when we want something, we'll pay for it.
Very true.
It's a whole different kind of community to the Comic-Con crowd, because Comic-Con crowds, they're very much family orientated, and obviously rightly so. No one has to spend a single penny with us, but everything's a bit more methodical.
Yeah,
horror seems to be a certain age range or a certain demographic where people are just like, that's mine, I want it, give it to me now. And you tell them the price and they go, yeah, that's fine. And it's just like,
yeah.
You sure?
I think because a lot of horror stuff comes from abroad, or the good, like, or unusual stuff come from abroad. And when you see it in front of you and it's there and there's no postage and packaging need to be taken into account or any fees, you're like, yeah, fuck yes, I will pay that. I know I did. I bought a Vincent Price Creepsville mug.
Yeah.
I fucking love it. But my husband is...
It's big. Yeah.
Oh, I wish I brought it in now. It's in the living room. It's in display. But yeah, it's he's about this big, and it's got the big hand. The handle is like amazing because it's the crow. It's the crow. Take that back. It's a raven. But to drink out of it is like, even I drink out of the most unusual mugs to start with. That one is going to be a challenge for us. So he's on display at the minute. Whether or not I put a, because Anth was like, how are you going to clean like where his nose is and where, like, it's going to be too difficult. And I was like, well, I've kind of done it with some of my other mugs that I've got dints in them. He went, I know, Sam, but look at it. Look, that's, you cut, no, don't drink out of it. I also bought a couple of items from yourself.
Yes.
Got a lovely lunchbox, and I bought Anther Prezi. I
You
bought
did,
him a
that's correct.
Witcher thingy. Mm. I just saw Witcher 3 and went, he likes that game.
Well, I'm intrigued to where the new, if they do continue on with the TV series and no Cavill, and they do go down the Hemsworth choices storyline, then I want to see Wild Hunt. I want to see that. But other than that, I just, I can't see how you can swap a character halfway through.
No, I think, and then to like recast it and everything, just, no. But yeah, he loved it. And like, I always like to buy my husband something when I'm out. Because, you know, I buy something. When I go out to town, if I get something, he has to get something. We share money. Like, I think it's only fair. And so it's very difficult to buy for him. But then when I came home, he was like, do you know what? I've had a thought when you were out today, when you couldn't do, if there was anything like Terminator related or RoboCop related. I was like, well, now you fucking give us ideas. Like, now you tell us something. But no, he liked it. Anyways, updates out the way with. Kinda. We are getting into the festive spirit a little bit early, people. I know. It's Dan's most favorite time of the year. It's Christmas. But we're going, hang on a minute.
That was my
when I said I wanted to do Krampus, you went, yes, as long as we do Black Christmas.
Yes.
So you do like some form of Christmas.
I also like Scrooged.
Oh, it's a brilliant film.
Scrooged and Black Christmas. Black Christmas is more just it's a horror movie that just happens to be at Christmas. For me, that's why I like it. It's not a Christmas movie that's a horror movie as well. Like I'd say Silent Night or the new one that David Harbour was in, Violent Night.
That was so good.
I really enjoyed it, but it was a Christmas movie that was a horror movie at the same time. Whereas for me, like I say, Black Christmas is predominantly a horror movie that's set at Christmas. Mike will completely disagree with me because Mike disagrees with you on everything. So he's on holiday now, so maybe he won't see this.
And he probably will listen back. A funny story, we bumped into Mike at Full of a Horror, said hello. I literally just went hello, like pointed at him, went hiya, and then he messaged that he put a post on when me photographs, and he went, oh, I'm so sorry I missed you, next time we'll say hello, we'll hang out. And I was like, I said hello to you. He was like, oh yeah.
There were so many people.
It was a lot. It was a lot. And
nuts.
he was in full costume and he looked fucking amazing. You did, Mike. You and Kerry looked absolutely amazing. So it was a lot, and I totally appreciate that. But it sent a chuckle in us, and I thought I want to tell that story because I know Mike listens. Right.
Yes.
Get this back on track. Let's get into Krampus. You have to do this. You have to do this.
Okay.
So I'll do the disclaimer and then we'll crack on with it. So everything discussed in today's episode is our opinions and our opinions alone. If you'd like to discuss anything from today's episode, please come and join us in the Facebook group, the Discord, or the comments section, and we can have an open discussion. But what we won't have is anyone coming for us and telling us our opinions are wrong. We can all agree to disagree in fandom. So let's keep it fun, keep it kind, and keep the toxic behaviour out of nerdism.
Don't be a dick.
Thank you. It's kind of coming a thing now. Like, I'm expecting you just to say it afterwards. Oh yeah, and thanks for anyone who has watched and tuned in or downloaded, listened to last week's episode, because that was a trip. That was Sleepaway Camp.
Yeah, I can't believe it's now our fourth most successful show, and it's only been out a week, just over a week. What? I don't know where we are. Hang on.
It's Thursday,
at this point. Yeah,
it's not. It's Monday. It's really Monday.
At this point, it's only 4 days, but yes, in the grand scheme of things.
And I'm so when I was in the Discord chat, people were saying that they hadn't heard of it, but they wanted to watch it, and I was like, "Go watch it! It's on YouTube right now."
It's the most bizarre film you'll ever see.
And we sold it really well, by the way. So amongst the lasses to Paul, it is literally an hour and a bit of me laughing my ass off about why I love this film so much. And I really did laugh a lot. So sorry to any audio listeners who had to put up with my laughing last week. But thank you everyone for watching it, because I didn't know where it was gonna land, how it was gonna hit, because it is it's an old film. It's not like a well-known film. So I'm really pleased with that. But today we're going into 2015. So Krampus, I've just said it and I couldn't even say it. The 2015 movie, directed and written, didn't know this until I started researching. Yep. Michael Dougherty, still can't say his name. Starring Adam Scott, Toni Collette, David Koechner, Alison Tumley, and the fabulous Konecha Farrell. Like he had for thousands of years, Krampus came not to reward, but to punish. Not to give, but to take. We give you Krampus. Krampus. I can do that with most anything now.
I feel like I should have a German accent when I say Krampus.
Krampus.
I don't want to offend anyone, so
that's a good point.
I will say slightly though that whilst I'm not a Christmassy person, I love the idea of the actual folklore of Krampus. Because
of course you do.
It's disturbing and sick, isn't it? Let's be honest, it's right up my alley. So
yeah, it was. One of my facts is that it was a very hard sell on the back of horror films that are based at Christmas, like Black Christmas, like your one you mentioned earlier,
Silent
Night. Yeah, because of them, this nearly didn't get made, or a studio wasn't interested in it. But Michael Dougherty, why can't I say his name? Michael Dougherty sold it hard. And he was he actually took studio notes. One which was stop the baby crying.
Make it stop.
Make the baby cry less. And he was happy with the rating that it got, because he just wanted it out there. But he did say he will fight tooth and nail for an R rating for Trick or Treat 2.
Yes. For those of you who didn't know, Mike Dougherty did Trick or Treat. He's responsible for our little warden of the Halloween rules.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As played
by a whole episode on him.
Yeah. And I met Quinn Lord, not for the love of horror, but at Spooky Empire when I was away. And we did a costume shoot with him. And he is... The irony is, he was 11. I think we said 10 or 11 when he played Sam. And it was a grown man in the suit now. And I was just like, that could be anyone in there. That could be absolutely anyone in that
I was looking at everyone's photographs because he was at For the Love of Horror. And I was like, do you know what? He doesn't even need to be in it. Like... You can't tell, but it looks so weird because it's a fully grown man.
Yeah.
In this suit that was meant to be a child. Like, that's the adorable part of Sam, was he was a child. But yes, did not know until doing my notes. And I was like, I recognize that name.
Yeah.
But now it makes sense.
But that's why there's that animated section, because Mike wanted to make sure that he bought his expertise of the animation, but he wanted to make sure he got a small bit into this, because obviously when he did Trick or Treat, the animated short he did was done like 15 years prior to the actual movie being released or something crazy. It was a long time prior to the movie being released, and so he wanted to incorporate that in Krampus itself, which he did, and he showed off his animation skills in that.
It's beautiful. The animation style of it is absolutely stunning. But just take that out and just look at the gingerbread men, and I'm like, how did I not see this when I first watched it? It's him written, just imprinted in the gingerbread men. And I only watched this last year. I remember last Christmas, me and Anth watched it. We watched that, and we watched the David Harbour film.
Yeah.
We watched that at the same time, and I absolutely loved it. I didn't expect to love it as much as what I did. Like I was saying, at the minute it was finished, that's it. That's on the Christmas list. put that on there.
Well, I know that there's a little Easter egg as well, going back to the Sam thing with Max, when he is forced to take his cousins upstairs and share his Halloween haul of all of his candy. There is a couple of trick or treat Sam lollipops in there. You know, the bitten off ones or the round ones, and they're in his like candy stash. So Mike knew what he was doing. He's proper product placed trick or treat in that quite a lot. There's quite a few of them as you go along, like little nods that he's done. So clever.
I'm going to look out for them because I will be watching it again. Did try and watch it this afternoon twice. Fell asleep.
One more time than me.
I tried. I even went in for a second go and still fell asleep. Hey, it's been a rough few weeks. I've been dog sitting again. I'm tired. It's like having children, except I don't know what happens. I have new.
You have new eyes too.
Yeah, anyone who's watching us on YouTube, if you, I have new eyes. I have new glasses. I'm old. And I had to pay a lot of money for someone to tell me that I am old. And I now have to wear glasses all the time. So, yay.
Welcome to my world. Won't you come on in?
Yes, I got brand new eyes. So yes, that's made me tired too. But the movie itself it's a lot of fun. You got to admit it is. It's a lot of fun.
It is I think it's more understandable of what's happening the second time you watch this film.
Yeah.
The first time the end happens. I'm not going to ruin the end just yet, but the end happens and you go, eh? What?
Yeah, I must admit I did that.
But then the second, third, fourth, however many times you watch it afterwards, you're like, I have questions. So many questions. And I will be posing said questions to you as we go along because I am not sure. And I couldn't Google it to find out because I ran out of time. So I'm going to ask the questions.
That's what I did for Pet Sematary. I was like, right, I have so many questions.
Sometimes that is better.
Oh, someone's been listening.
I don't know what you mean.
I did a playlist of songs for the travel down to Manchester. Knowing fine well that people who were traveling with me would not fucking appreciate it. A lot of Ice Nine Kills are in there. I was like, hey, I'm driving. I need, yeah, absolutely. I was like, hey, I'm driving. I need the distraction. I had a lot of Misfits. It was all horror-based themed because Misfits did a whole album on B-movie monsters. And I was like, fucking chuck that album in there. Let's get some Ice Nine. Obviously, Ice Nine Kills. Spotify would freak out if I didn't play that. But yeah, the opening scene of this film, really, I absolutely love it. It's full on Christmas.
Black Friday nonsense.
Oh, it is like it's the parents getting tased and well, I had something written down somewhere about the opening scene. They made a point, that was it. They made a point of having the film be strictly Christmas at the beginning. Purely Christmas. Nothing else before it hit the horror and dark fantasy realm.
Right.
And this movie, that was filmed in one day in a shopping centre in New Zealand. That is the only location spot because everything else was done in a sound studio.
Right.
The whole movie, apart from that bit, sound studio.
I think it was a lot of digital the snow and the wind and all the because I know Weta had a lot to do with it, didn't it? Weta Workshop. And if you don't know who Weta Workshop are, have you been sleeping? Sammy will know through the sheer Lord of the Rings, Hobbit, huge amount of props they made for that. Weta have done so many things over the years. We stock quite a lot of Weta stuff. We've even got the Labyrinth door knockers and the worm, I think. They were made by Weta as well. Yeah, they were made by Weta. So yeah, so they do some amazing stuff, but they're actual when you see like tours through their workshop they do tours through their workshop on YouTube.
I know.
I'd like to work there, please. Thank you. Yes, please.
Let us go and lick the place now. Be happy. Just make it really weird. But yeah, the everything's done in sound studio, everything's digital. Because it is a lot. The even the houses.
Yeah.
Digital. Outside the scene with Beth when she's running and you've got Krampus chasing her.
On a pogo stick, yeah.
Oh, it's amazing though. I love the jumping from like one house to the other. That's all digital. Not to and I'm not shitting on it at all. Like, because I know practical is what I prefer, but the way that they've done it, it not only looks so real, it looks really beautiful as well. The silhouettes that they use, the lighting and everything, it all kind of fits.
But it has a comedy element to it for me as well, because there's something ridiculous about the notion that something that big can jump that far. Yeah. Like, it's very, I wouldn't say it was hulkish. Exactly. Yeah, I wouldn't say it was like hulkish, like how he can jump like 42 miles in one leap. But yeah, there's just something really funny about the way he's shaped and what he has to how like house to house he can bound in one like knee bend jump, and it's not even like a leap like it's a gazelle.
Agile.
It's very like bump bump bump. And
I'm not gonna look at that the same again. When I was watching it earlier, because it's like near the beginning and where I hadn't fallen asleep, and I thought, oh, that just looks lovely, like how he's just like, now I'm like gonna look at it completely different.
I want to see a beautiful arabesque gazelle leap from house to house.
Well, Krampus is from German and Austria folklore. Correct. He is a genuine thing to where I think I read maybe in Austria, do not come for me if I've read that wrong, but they do every Christmas, they do, what's it called?
The Krampus run.
Krampus run.
Yes.
Where fully grown men will run down the street chasing children.
Yep, they do the Krampus run, and they also have the Krampus one where they all dress up as Krampus, their versions of Krampus. And it is one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. If you get a chance, go on YouTube and you can Google it. The Krampus runs, and the people's makeup skills and prosthetic skills, and these are people that they just do this once a year. They're not bothered about anything else. These people don't work in the movies, or they don't work in any sort of massive profession that means you have to be proficient in special effects. But it's absolutely stunning watching them. It's something on the list that if I was to ever get overly excited about Christmas, I'd go. Yeah, I'd go to watch that.
That's what would get you. And with the design, the final design that they landed on was from various postcards and illustrations from him from over the years. So it's kind of like a mixture of everything, because you can buy, and you're meant to send them every year, be on the lookout for yours, a Krampus Christmas card. It's like a warning.
Be good.
Don't fuck up. You come get you. You come get you. I want to talk about this cast of this movie, because Adam Scott and Toni Collette. I like Adam Scott for my nerdy reasons. Him in Parks and Rec, that board game he created, just love him. And Toni Collette, love Toni Collette. Like the woman.
You are awful, Muriel.
Oh. Also, Connie and Carla is sorry, I fucking love that film so much. But yeah, and Hereditary totally changed it. Like, I knew Toni Collette was a brilliant actress. Sixth Sense kind of like cemented where I was with her, and I was like, I love her. She can do no wrong. And then Hereditary came out, and I went, for fuck's sake, can you like stop? Because you are getting too good at this. Like, you are
be exhausted.
She was amazing in that movie. Like, but blown away is not the word when it comes to it. That scene at the end will haunt me forever. Like, I still look in the corner just to make sure Toni Collette's not sitting there soaring her heat off
with a bit of cheese wire. It's maintaining the eye contact while she's doing it. That was the.
She's just so bewitching in it. Like, she's just like Oh, she's not even there. It's not even her. But I didn't think them two together would be there would be anything there, and it kind of worked. I didn't hate it.
Yeah, I hated it.
Did you?
Yeah, he's not. I don't know. Adam Scott is a very acquired taste to
I
cast. He's a strange one to cast. In the respect of that, he's not what they would say is a traditional lead character.
Yeah.
So to cast him in a lead character role, playing straight as well.
Very
and by
straight.
I don't mean his sexual orientation.
No.
I mean like not a comedy actor.
No.
Not, what he's known for. His sarcasm, his comedy presence, especially on Parks and Rec. I think that's one of his most famous roles.
He's very dry.
Yeah.
But I do love him on Parks and Rec, but I do get what you mean completely. Like it is taking him out of his comfort zone a bit. But for me, I kind of liked it, but it might just be down to the love that I have from him in Parks and Rec. I mean, it'll never be The Office. Do you know what I mean? But
no, never. But I liked his character. I liked the way he played him in Krampus. It was just kind of hard to believe that him and Tony were married, and especially like how he relied on his son to translate his mother quite a lot. It was a bit weird. Like,
how amazing is that little boy, Max, that not only does he carry one of the biggest imaginations ever, he can speak, he can't speak, he can understand German.
Yep. And be very
brave. He's very brave.
Yeah.
I don't find him annoying in this.
No. I didn't actually. One of very few times I didn't find the kid to be annoying in a movie.
Yeah. So. I loved the other kid though. The one who just gawped all the time.
Oh, the little brother. The little brother of the two sisters, yeah.
Yeah. One of them sisters is, I think it was, they looked exactly the same, but one of them sisters is the actual sister of Beth.
Right.
The Max's sister.
Yeah.
So them two are actually related. But we did get an office guy in here. We got Todd Packer himself. Absolutely. Honestly, the guy for me can't do any wrong, but to fit him into horror, I was like, oh, but it kind of worked. He was very douchey, like military, like the fact that he loved his truck and his guns and America. But it wasn't Todd Packer, which is what I always worry about when he takes on roles. Is I'm always going to think you're playing Todd Packer again.
Well, he does quite good in the Goldbergs because he doesn't play that kind of character as the girlfriend's dad. He doesn't play Todd Packer in that, but yeah, I mean, he is kind of the Pac-Man in Anchorman, isn't he? He's kind of got that vibe. And I'm going to ask, did you see the parallels between the setup of this movie and Christmas Vacation, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation? You can spot a mile off Randy Quaid and David Koechner as technically the same character.
The same person. The house is the same.
Yeah, it's all very, very similar, isn't it?
The setup of the actual before everything goes to tits is the same, and it's all done by design.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I didn't realise it was intentional. It just seemed very coincidental. I don't know.
No, it was all done by design.
Right.
Because he got a lot of influence from that movie. So yeah, you are spot on with that one.
The shitter's full.
But I love David Koechner. I love he is the epitome of, like, I don't know, I don't want to offend anybody, but just that kind of like douchey guy.
Yeah, no, he is. Like 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, he was I like him, but I can't even say it again. Conchita. There's no I in it. Conchita Farrell, who plays the aunt. I fucking love that woman. Sad that
Men.
she's yeah, 2.5 Men.
Yeah.
Oh, she was always a bit character. She's been in so much, but she was always like the bit character. She was never the main person. And it was such a shame because her comedy timing is fucking bar none amazing. But sadly, she is no longer with us anymore. Binksy boy? Absolutely not. Sorry, mate. I have to have my cats in with me tonight, and he is now deciding to jump on the side of the table because he's learned to jump.
Surprise.
Onto high things. Yeah. He's learned to jump onto counters. He's just staring at us now like, I'm not doing nothing wrong. So yeah, if anyone audio wise can hear like rufflings and scutching in the background, it's my cats. I'm sorry. They have to stay with me tonight, unfortunately, because I'm the only one in. But yeah, she's so dry in this. It's unreal.
I love how she talks to the kids when she goes, will you take the kids into the kitchen? And she went, why? I didn't ever want to have kids.
What an answer. That's going to be my answer from now on. I don't have children. Why should I have to watch them?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, yes, go on, you tell them.
Oh, it's when our first line is, where's that nog? I need to get merry.
I can empathise a lot though with Toni Collette when she loses her shit with her. Not because she's annoying, but because Toni Collette, you can see she's just a pressure cooker ready to explode at that point. And when you've ever hosted a Christmas at your house, you can completely understand what Toni Collette's going through. If you're the one that's got to do all the cooking, the cleaning, the making sure everything's going all right, feeding everybody throughout the entire day. Oh, it's worst mistake I ever made. Never do it again. No. I
am so fortunate that I don't have to do that. No. I just have to travel a lot. We alternate, always have done. 1 year at my mum's, 1 year at his mum's. This year we are at my in-laws. So I will be at my mother's in the morning, then my in-laws, and back to my mother's and home. We might have to skip the mother's. Normally we would go to my mum's afterwards, but because my mum only lives 2 minutes from me, but because we have two little menaces, we may have to come home early. Sorry, he's just at the windowsill, like staring down at us. Like, I don't know what he's going to do.
I just see a cat flying past you in a second. Whee!
Oh, it'll happen. It will happen. But yeah, the cast in this is fantastic. The kids aren't annoying. Thank Christ. I felt a bit like shit for Beth. Like, she got took out like very quickly.
Yes, but this was the thing, right? The law with Krampus is, if you've been naughty, it's his job to come and sort you out, right? You've got, obviously, St. Nicholas, who is the wonderful, smiley, jolly guy who, if you've been nice, he showers you with gifts. But he doesn't want to be the one to say, you've been naughty, to the extent of that, I'm going to hang you in a tree upside down and then put you in my bag and eat you and beat you with sticks. And, you know, that's up to Krampus. He'll do that. He's the one that'll beat the children. But she wasn't exactly all that naughty. When you're just like, I don't understand why she went first.
Yeah, she was just a teenager. Like, she wasn't. But let's be honest, out of all of them, did they really deserve what they got?
The sisters, maybe, because they by the end of it, I was like, oh my God. When they picked on Max and they humiliated him by reading his Christmas letter, I was like, oh, I don't like you. No, that poor little lad, let him believe.
Exactly, and he knew that what he just wanted the spirit of Christmas. Again, the spirit, it's like the spirit of Halloween, the spirit of Christmas. He didn't say that he necessarily believed in Santa Claus, but he believed in what it actually meant to him. Like, he wanted to, like, all he wanted to do when he came home after he had a bust up. The kid got into a lot of fights. He had a bust up with a kid. He just wanted to come home and wrap presents with his parents and watch the Charlie Brown Christmas special, and he just wanted the spirit of Christmas, man. I do love the fact that they mention while looking outside, and they mention some neighbours, and they're like, oh, we've not spoke to them since Max's noodle incident. Never find out what that is.
I would love to know.
There was a point made on IMDb about this that it's never mentioned. There's an actual follow-up comic to this. It's never mentioned in there. Michael Dougherty will not talk about it. It's like this hidden secret of what was the noodle incident.
Michael, you need to tell us what the noodle's about.
We need to know the noodle incident.
I think they did some crafty stuff in this movie because I know their surnames were Engel.
Engel, Engel, which in German is
Angel. Yeah, which if anybody's a Rammstein fan, you'll obviously know that from that song. But they wanted to use that surname to reflect the Austrian heritage that the family have.
Yeah, they wanted to make it very clear.
Yeah, well, they have a German nan or an Austrian nan, so I think that sets the tone. Really, they didn't need to.
She was mint, by the way. I liked her. I liked the minute she knew something was going down, that fire was on.
Yeah, so she wouldn't let him come
exactly
near the house. Yeah, but the beauty of her was she took everything in. She spoke perfect English. She just refused. She was just a curmudgeonly old bird until the time was right, and then she spoke English.
But that's her first language.
Yeah.
There's no reason. And I like that. I like the fact that that is her first language and she doesn't need to conform to speak English. She can speak her native tongue. Crack on. I love it.
It was just the fact that they all the rest of the family treated her like shit, didn't they? You know, not...
Well, they treated her like she didn't understand them.
Yeah.
And doing that whole, you know, when people talk to you really slowly when you think they don't understand. Like, fuck off. I get you.
Speak louder.
Oh, God. In my job, it's either speak louder, speak slower, are you Welsh? Yeah, I get asked a lot. Am I Welsh?
Oh, dear God.
No, I'm not. But yeah, I love the grandma. Is it Omi,
I think.
Omi. I love her.
Omi, yeah.
And I love the fact that all of this is going on and she's the only one who has a fucking clue. And she doesn't break it until halfway through the film. Halfway.
I'll sit on this little nugget and just see what happens.
I think she thought that if she got the fire going, made the family like kind of confined into one room, maybe they could pass this out.
Yeah.
Maybe. But then, you know, they had to go and look for the daughter and
ignore everything. Yeah.
But I need to talk about the scene with the gingerbread men and all the shit coming to life, because that threw me for a loop. But it's only when that's on first viewing. But now that I know who did it, I'm like, oh yeah, I get it.
I have the angel in the loft as a tree topper for when I used to put a tree up. We have a black Christmas tree. Nothing but predictable me. For when I do put it up, but we've literally got the angel from Krampus that sits on top of the tree. And my sister come round and she took one look at it and she went, "Oh, for God's sake, that thing's hideous." I was like, "You need to watch the film." But yes, you're correct, it is.
I want the bell.
Yeah, we used to sell it. We used to sell the bell, and now I cannot get it for love nor money.
It would not. My tree is a Harry Potter themed tree. I don't know if the Krampus bell would sit well with all of me Harry Potter ornaments. Just like this one random bell. What's that? Oh, well, that's Krampus.
Yeah, stick around the back. No one will see it. You'll know it's there.
It's Krampus. With I don't have a back. It's all 180. Like it goes all like everyone you can see everything, because of where it's positioned. But yeah, there would be a kind of good story though. What's that? What's the Krampus bell? I don't have children, so it's obviously come for me. But yeah, I love that scene. I love the design work on it. I just think it's very fantasy.
Yeah.
But I do very much like it.
I mean, did you know, and I found this out today and I found it absolutely hilarious. They don't really talk, but the gingerbread men were voiced by Seth Green and Justin Roiland.
Yeah,
now, I know we're not really supposed to talk about Justin now because he's a naughty man.
I don't know who he is.
He's the voice of Rick and Morty.
Oh, right. Okay,
and
yeah. Right.
He's been replaced now due to allegations of naughtiness. So the guy that invented the voices for Rick and Morty now no longer plays Rick and Morty.
Oh my
Some
God.
guys who can do the most perfect impressions you've ever heard were hired, and they now voice Rick and Morty for the new season.
Right.
But they were really clever with that, because to have Seth and Justin voice the gingerbread men, in a return favour, they put the posters up of Robot Chicken and Rick and Morty in Max's bedroom.
Right.
So they've got like a little Easter egg with that, because Mike's nothing but he loves just like little
Nods.
Yeah, they've also got a nod to Pacific Rim in there as well, because I think he's got a big poster of Gypsy Danger in the bedroom as well. But yeah, because that's a Legendary Pictures, and it was something to do with Universal and Legendary that made this movie. So,
well, yes, one of my notes was Gingerbread Men, Seth Green, and Justin. And I did not know. I didn't even go in to look at who he was. I just wrote it down. I didn't recognize the name. But the minions are also real Christmas and winter folk figures. Obviously not the Gingerbread Man. But
I eat them.
Do you know what? I would not go out my way to eat a gingerbread man, but if there was a ginger custard like cream, like my dad's or something, because I know my dad loves ginger, like I would have one, but I would not go out of my way to buy a gingerbread man.
I like gingerbread man. I'm marrying one, I know. So,
Rob, it
feels so weird saying that. It feels so weird saying that.
Wait until you're married. It's such a strange feeling. Like it's 4 years, and I still can't not call Anth my husband, because I still can't believe we friggin' did it. Like, we've been together forever. Like, we got married 4 years ago. We've been together 13, 14 years at that time. We're hitting 17 years now. Like, it just still to this day is bizarre. Every time someone kept calling us Mrs. Bryce, I kept laughing at them. Or if someone mentioned the fact that I was married, or I like my husband, I just start laughing. It's so surreal. So yeah, and I was never engaged, so I don't know that feeling. We just did it.
Would have been easier, I think, but yeah, we just
no, it wouldn't. It was perfect. It was perfect setting, perfect time, and it was beautiful. Your face, do you know what? Her holiday pictures are brilliant, because not only will you see her cry, you will see her smile as well.
I mean, I think that's something I'm allowed to let the persona slip for. But yeah, for anybody who doesn't know, my other half, Rob, proposed to me.
He prepared you
for a life. Yes, he did. It's late. I'm tired. It's been a long week.
It's been a long week for her, bless her.
Yeah, he proposed to me at the Salem chapter of the Satanic Temple, in front of Baphomet, which is huge. And my mother said, "Oh, that was a choice."
That was the best choice.
She's not down with the kids, that's all I'm saying. Yeah, so it was, I thought he was having a muck about. So when I turned around and realised he wasn't having a muck about, I told him to fuck off probably a total of about 3 times, because I thought he was messing. And then...
Poor Rob.
Then he finally asked me, and I said to my friend, I don't know what hand it is. I completely forgot what hand the ring's supposed to go on. I didn't know.
Right, left.
Yeah, she left. And I just went blank at everything, and I'm just standing there, and I was laughing, but I was crying at the same time. And I was just like, oh God. And I couldn't stop because I was laughing so much. And I don't know why I was laughing. It's just one of those moments where I was just like, what the
yeah, it's nerves. When I get scared, or when I spoke to Gareth on Sunday, I couldn't stop giggling. I'm like, why am I laughing? This is like, I'm just having a conversation. Stop. So I just stopped instantly. Hey, sweetheart. And I just stopped instantly. Oh, it was perfect though. It was such a beautiful moment.
I'll take it. I'll take it. So I'm only doing this once, so I'll take whatever I can get right now. So
Shut up. Yeah. Honestly, when you're married, this feeling doesn't stop. You'll ride it for a fair few years.
Noted.
Yeah.
Noted.
Our next anniversary, we'll come for a weekend for the Lavara. That's what we're doing. I'm actually dragging my husband down with us when we go next year. Already got our hotel
the weekend.
We're just doing the Saturday.
Yeah.
We're coming down on the Saturday, doing the convention. Going to get checked in, have something to eat, and then go to the after party. We want to do the after party because I think you sold it too well. So we're doing the after party.
It's one of those things you put your name. Well, you get your name put down. You put your name down for something when you're in holiday mode, and you go, "Yay, great idea! Yeah, no problem." And then Carolyn and Mark, who are these two lovely people, came up to me and went, "Oh, I hear you're singing tonight." I was like, "Eh." They went, "Oh yeah, they put your name up on the list," and I was like, and that bit inside of you that goes, "Why?" And I looked and I thought, so we got there at what we thought was an appropriate time for it to start. So got there about 7:45, thinking I'll be on at 8:10, and we could scoot off. Because bearing in mind, we landed Thursday, we were setting up Friday, and we were a day into the show. So I was like, good, I could about half an hour in, out, done. Because lovely. Tom Mac hadn't gone on stage until 20 to 8, should I say. He did an hour and a half. And then they put the karaoke on after that. And it was an experience. He sung Cry Little Sister last. He sung many, many songs before that, especially Fight for Your Right to Party.
Woo! But the one you actually wanted to hear.
He's a walking meme. You know that meme of Steve Buscemi where he's got the skateboard over his shoulder and he's, hi kids. That is Tom. Ripped jeans, a hoodie, a boom box in some of his pictures that you have flashing up in the back. It was an experience. Yeah.
Amazing. I did have a moment where I was standing in front of oh God, what's her name from Blair Witch Project?
Heather
Donahue, standing in front of her, and I kind of was like, do I just run over and just tell her that I fucking love the Blair Witch Project and it cemented my love for found footage horror, or do I just walk away?
You walked away, didn't you?
Of course I walked away. Of course I walked away. And then she walked past your fucking stall while I was talking to you. Paul's good. Yeah, Heather Donahue's just walked past. I was good. Fucking sending Jordan a dad.
I didn't even see her, if that helps. So
gutted, absolutely gutted. But Krampus.
Yeah, it wouldn't be us if we didn't tangent.
Exactly. We just love a tangent. It scored 66% on Rotten Tomatoes, which I think, if my memory serves me right, is around the same as Trick or Treat, if not near. Yeah.
I think Trick or Treat should be better than it is.
Oh God, yeah.
For Rotten Tomatoes scores. It's having a massive resurgence, as we well know, but in America, every freaking shop I went in,
imagine
Sam.
Yeah.
Everywhere. I even bought myself, I've got a lumberjack shirt that's covered in, it's black and white squares, it's got Sam down the arms, it even says on the back, check your candy. It's it's really cool. And all the t-shirts, Hell On Shirts have just done a fantastic range of, well, I don't know whether they've just done it, but they had some on their stall actually of the Trick or Treat range they did, which is fantastic. When you're in Halloween Horror Nights had so much Trick or Treat stuff as well, and it was just we need more Sam.
I stayed away from Hell On Shirts for a very good reason.
Would have been very poor.
Yeah. I wouldn't have bought anything else. And I kind of wanted something, because I say to Paul, I'm not buying for the sake of buying, because I can do that at home. I could just sit and buy for the sake of buying. I want something quite unique. And I know that you can go, and I've seen on so many websites that Vincent Price mug, but I thought, you know what, that yes, that's unique. I nearly got the big Creepsville heart bag with the webbing, and it was the orange one.
Yeah.
And then I saw Peaches had exactly the same one, but in black and white. And I thought, oh no, it's all right. And nothing, like, the bag is amazing. But I was like, I'm not copying Peaches, not today. Not while she's actually got it here. My God, we bumped into Peaches. It was so funny. So funny. She messages and goes, "Are you going to For Love or Horror?" I says, "Yes, we're going to Sunday." She went, "Yes, me too." "Oh, I'll say hello." I was like, "Oh, you'll say hello, will you?" Like I don't talk to you frequently enough. You're nice enough to come and say hello. And
Hello.
Bumped into her, and she's got this bubble tea, and I swear to God, this bubble tea was like her emotional support. Like, she just would not stop selling us on bubble tea to the point where I ended up getting one.
It's ever so nice. The guys that Bubble Ninja, they do really good bubble tea.
I got very overwhelmed by the choices. I was like,
I didn't know what any of them were when I stood there.
Like, I had one. Oh God, I had quite a few at SunnyCon actually, because people kept buying them and didn't like them, and I was like, hand it over. But I had an Iron Brew one at SunnyCon, and I was like, that was just made. It was just there. There was, that there was one option. They give me choices, and I didn't know what went with what.
Yeah,
and I was like, I'm not the greatest when it comes to taste. Like, I'm the queen of bland. so I got candy floss and cherry.
Yeah, it's nice.
It was just candy floss. Like, you couldn't taste the cherry. It was just pure candy floss. I should have gone with apple and cherry. Fucking hell.
They are. It is really, really nice.
Yeah, I do like a good bubble tea. But the music for Krampus, composer was called Douglas Pipes. Laughed me arse off when I read his name. Pipes. He said the music collection was, or the collection of music was twisted Christmas carols with pagan thrown in there. And I was like, with pagan thrown in there, like, is it pagan thing? Like, that's just a blanket word, pagan.
Well, I don't recall hearing anything that struck me remotely as
pagan,
like chanting paganism, like, you're going on the Wicker Man at Alton Towers kind of pagan, I heard nothing of that kind of
no.
No.
No. And like, what kind of pagan are we talking about? Like, and this is where I get a bit like, are we talking like neo-pagan? Are we talking like folksy pagan? Like, where are we landing on this pagan? I just want to know. I didn't get any of that. I got the Christmas bit of it. I was listening to it and I'm like, I just hear Christmas.
Yeah, I just heard like Carol of the Bells, I think it's called.
Yeah.
That one. It was like, it wasn't that song, but that whole creepy
that would
vibe
have been cool,
that song gives off. That weird. It has a. Whilst it works for Home Alone, and that's the only film it doesn't seem creepy in.
It's still creepy.
There is. There's a level of real creepiness with that song.
It's the and it gets like proper, like, it almost gets metal.
And then there's a really high pitched like when they're singing the really
I know why it sounds creepy because Dwight plays it. Dwight plays the black metal version of it on The Office.
Bell Snatch.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that was what it was called.
Because I've played that over and over again. I actually have that on a playlist as well. Because it's so fucking good. Thank you, Dwight Schrute.
Yes.
I miss The Office. I haven't watched it in such a long time. And when watching like Todd Packer being on here, I was like, oh, Todd, you're an asshole. But I love you. He is an asshole. Have we got any more on the Krampus? This is like, it's very hard because like Krampus, we could do a whole thing on the actual beast
lore of Krampus.
But that's a lot.
All right, I've got a question.
Go on.
Do you think the choice of the design of this Krampus Krampus was a good choice, or do you think it was a bad choice? And I'm actually alluding to the fact that Krampus never shuts his mouth. He constantly has his mouth
open, and it was shut, wasn't it? I like the design of it. I think it's quite fitting. To close his mouth is probably a really good choice, because then it's bringing that horror element a little bit too high, whereas the horror in this is quite tame.
Yeah.
Could all, like, you know, kids could get away with watching this shit, like, but if you open that mouth and you have that mouth exposed, it elevates the horror.
It's like they only had one face for Krampus, and I'm not saying that it wasn't expensive to make, and that's maybe why they only had the one mask, prosthetic, whatever it ended up being. But there was nothing there. For me, I felt with this Krampus that it was very flat, because it couldn't emote. Whoever was wearing it couldn't do anything in it. It was what you saw for that time that you actually got on his face. There wasn't anything there to see.
I think I prefer the silhouette of him. I prefer the shadowy side of him. To see his face, I don't spark that, like, there's no reaction there.
Yeah.
Then what there was, but then what there was when you first see him on the houses, I'm like, oh shit. Like, that's terrifying, because the shapes of him,
when he uncurls himself as well,
the size of him as well. So that's probably the scariest part for us. I don't think I emote any emotion when it comes to his face. If he'd had his mouth open, though, that might have been a bit different, because then I'm like, oh, you fuck, why would you do that?
So, and also in the movie, one by one they all get snatched or dragged into the snow, or you know, through the snow thing, and they disappear. Now, I am so confused with the setup of how we got to the very end scene, the very end scene. Are they always there? Were they always there to start with? Why did he put them in there? I'm very confused. I don't understand the purpose of the snow globe.
So we have all of the events that take place within this movie, and I do urge you to go and watch it. The likelihood is Netflix will put this back up again towards Christmas time. I know they've taken it down for now, but it is a thoroughly good watch. It is very much of the time, 2015, the look of horror at the time, and it's a really decent film. But we go through this whole event of all these people going, Max's life like being turned up the fucking side down, to then it all not happening. It didn't happen. However, so it's not a case of it didn't happen. At the end of it all, Max wakes up in his own bed, and his whole day is starting again. It's like Groundhog Day. And his whole day is starting again. And his family are acting like nothing's happened. Everything's all as normal, nothing's to do, but Max can remember everything. And as he's talking to his family, they start to remember everything.
Yeah.
And then you find out that they're in a snow globe?
Yes.
Do they? I'm going to start asking questions now.
Yeah.
They live in the snow globe? Did he put them in the? He must have put them in the snow globe. That must be the punishment.
Well, See, this is where I overthought the whole thing, because it is probably as simple as that's where he was taking them all to put them all in the snow globe, to keep them in there because they were all naughty or horrible. So puts them in the snow globe. But it felt like they might have been in it from the beginning. You know, when the blizzard starts, and it's
and the snowman appears.
Because the snowman appears.
Why did nobody question that?
When you shake a snow globe, it goes like a blizzard inside, doesn't it? Because everything so I wasn't sure when they got put in it. It makes sense. It's when
it
he
makes
wakes up.
sense if it's when the
But-
blizzard starts, because that's when the snowman appears. And that
Where-
snowman
Where
is
did it come from?
exactly. And it's almost like it is almost too perfect. It is perfect to be made from human hands.
So
I mean, my snowman's not fuck all. I mean, I don't like playing in the snow to start with, but my snowman would never look like that. That was too perfect. But that makes so much sense. Like, were they put into it to start with? And unfortunately, are they going to now be living that day? Is she spending their eternity
yes,
living that day with her sister and her family? That'd be
Wow.
fucking livid.
me Christmas on repeat. Oh,
Yeah.
God, no.
Christmas Day on repeat forever. I'd be,
No.
but you remember every single one.
Oh, good God.
It's not like your brain resets and you remember, like Bill Murray in Groundhog Day, he remembered every single day.
Oh no, I can't think of anything worse. That's a massive no.
I
for
would
me.
be fucking exhausted.
No.
Yeah.
Eating the same food every day.
I'm not a big fan of Christmas dinner to start with, so that'd be great. I remember when we were kids, though, because my dad we stopped going down my grandparents like quite young, because that's where we used to go for dinner. And so my dad started doing it at his house just for the four of us, at his house, at my house. And because we didn't like prawn cocktail for a starter, he used to do us bread bun, scooped out with cream cheese and ham, and toast it, and that would be my starter. And I still to this day love that starter. All because I didn't like. Oh, I love prawn cocktail,
Yeah.
but at the time I didn't. I would still choose that over a prawn cocktail, even though I can't remember the last time my dad ever did anything like that. But yeah,
Brilliant. No,
but yeah, it makes you question. Oh, poor Dan is so. Dan's had like the longest week, bless her.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, no, it's just been a week. But yeah, I just don't. Every time I watch Krampus, a new question comes up, and I'm like,
Now you're gonna make me question things, and my brain like doesn't work that way. Like, I realize I watch for the moment,
yeah.
and then I'll question it later.
First time I do, unless it's a Marvel movie, and then I always have questions because I'm that person. But I'll save it to the end, and then when we're driving home, I'll go, "Why did this happen?" And Rob goes, "Just stop! You're overthinking it." I'm like, "Yeah, but that wouldn't, this wouldn't," and he's like, "Stop ruining the film."
You've just watched a comic book film, love.
Yeah,
It's all right.
but I tend to get a little bit question like on certain things. But
I
there
do
are
that.
films. There are
sorry.
films that I can just sit and watch, and I
Yeah.
don't have to.
There's certain things, like if I know like Ant's got a big of an interest in something, like example Witcher.
Yeah.
When we watched The Witcher, I asked fucking hundreds of questions.
So did I, because I'd only ever seen him play the game. I'd never played it myself.
Same here.
So
I know he loved Witcher 3. I think he said it's one of his favorite games, like for a very long time. Like he hadn't had that feeling of like, oh good God, what the fuck have I just played for a very long time until Witcher 3 came out. He always says if I could erase one thing from my memory, it'd be that game.
So they can play it again.
Yeah. And I asked a lot of when we watched One Piece. Oh, actually, I didn't have to ask questions on One Piece because the fucker was just telling us as we were going along and ruining it.
Rob was telling me, because I was going, look, what the hell? I don't get. And he's like going, yeah, this is this and he's only watched 300 episodes of the 1,000 and something that there are.
Mr. Bryce is up to date on the manga, so he's ahead of everyone else. But yeah, he couldn't let it drop. Couldn't let it drop. Had to tell us who people were and what relationships they were. And I'm like, I don't get angry at spoilers. I generally don't.
Yeah.
Unless it's on TikTok where you can fuck right off.
Yeah.
They literally, when was it? It was Spider-Man. Hadn't even been out a couple of hours and already all over TikTok.
Yeah.
Everything. So when it comes to like spoilers, because I'm very easy to forget shit. So I don't get too angry about it. But my God, yeah, he was just telling us before it even happened what was going to happen. Still enjoyed it though.
I think that's the thing I liked about Krampus, because in so many ways you know what you're getting into if you know the folklore. And Krampus, obviously, I think it's December the 5th. Call me out if I'm wrong, but you have Krampusnacht, which is Krampus night. Yeah, it's Krampus's night. So it's where you have to, it's where he comes and takes away the naughty kids, basically.
I'd be fucked.
There's an episode of Grimm that I highly recommend anyone watch. If you've ever seen that TV series, it's been a long time since I've seen it.
Love that.
But there is one episode that they do about Krampus, and it is the most true to the folklore that I have seen, where they hang the children by their feet in a tree, beat them with sticks after he's kidnapped them in his sack, and then he leaves them up there to eat later. But people don't realize it gets that harsh. They don't realize, the children are beaten and then eaten. If you don't know the story very well, you just think it's a big bloke with a sack,
Boo kids. Do you know what makes us laugh, actually? The Office, Dwight Schrute, like, I know I've brought up a couple of times, but he is obviously from German descent, and he holds his German values very close to his heart. You have a whole episode of his German tradition when it comes to Christmas and the weed whacking, and which is hilarious. And his wedding as well, where he got married in the ditch. Yeah. He got married in his own grave.
That's it. Yeah, him and Angela.
Him and Angela get married in their own graves. But yeah, and not once is Krampus mentioned.
Well, I think he says, doesn't he? He says something along the lines of that. What did I call him now? I've gone blank already. His version of Father Christmas is a mashup of Krampus and Father Christmas together.
I wish I could remember the episode's name, because that's that's what he's talking about. I've seen The Office so many times that I know it verbatim, but my mind now has gone blank on that episode.
I'm just going to try and Google it now and see.
Google time. It's a Google time. It's my watch has just vibrated because my watch has died.
Yeah, the Belschnickel. Yeah,
Belschnickel. That's
Belschnickel.
Yes, Belschnickel is such a good episode. It's very much towards the end as well, because I think it's like the last season when Jim's not living there anymore.
It's he says it's actually a real St. Nicholas type figure in Germany and not a character the writers just made up. As such, Dwight decides to serve everyone ample amounts of Gulhuin, I'm so sorry, and Hassenpfeffer, which is a rabbit stew, and some Hogmore, which is basically haggis. Because they are traditional foods. Yeah, I remember that. I honestly, oh god, yeah. It's the episode where you think Pam and Jim are going to get a divorce. That's why.
Oh, is that where he shows her the video?
Yeah, it's that one where Dwight and Jim have the best friendship. They are best friends, but they don't realize it for 8 seasons.
Oh yeah,
Dwight and Jim. Can you see my little? I don't know if you can see it now. My Pez dispensers.
Your Pez? Oh, is that what they are?
It's Pam and Jim.
Oh, that's amazing.
I've found them at one of the shows, and it's. I don't know if you can see it very well, but.
Oh yeah, that's so cool.
It's just. I want Dwight stuff.
Yeah, I want more Dwight stuff. I've got the Funko desk. Pam and Jim's desk. I've got them. They have destroyed the boxes, the boys, because I had to use them because they were perfect height to stop them from getting under the air cabinet, and they've just been bouncing off them and everything. So they can come out of the box at some point. But Dwight stuff, I want more Dwight stuff. He is one of my favorite characters, and yes, him and Jim are best friends.
Yeah, well,
always and forever.
I obviously have a lifetime.
You have him there.
Obsession.
Why Dwight? Why out of every person, why Dwight?
Because I love Dwight the most. He is the only reason I watch The Office. He is that person that you can identify with, even though you wouldn't do the stupid dumb fuckery that Dwight pulls. You still see that he's just someone who wants to be liked or wants to be involved, and this is him trying to do it the best way he knows how. And we're all socially awkward at some point, and we all do dumb shit in dumb situations. It's just Dwight is amplified by 1,000.
He turns it up. He's such a nerd as well.
Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, he's when he came in as a Sith Lord, and they were like, they took the piss out of him. I think someone says, "Who are you, Jesus?" And he was like, "What?"
He dressed up as somebody from World of Warcraft, I want to say, as well.
Oh yeah, and he says he can't tell who it is because you took away me antler things. It's like every year Toby has to stop Dwight from bringing in weapons and stuff at Halloween. Ant's favorite character in The Office is Kevin and Creed.
Kevin I can understand. Creed I can also understand. Do you know, we do Rhode Island Comic Con. This was the third time we'd done Rhode Island Comic Con, and for the year 1 and 2 that we did it, they had Office people there for photo shoots.
Oh, what?
Not one this year, and I regret immensely. They used to have Meredith, they'd have Phyllis, Stanley. I think they had Creed and Kevin as well. And
so Phyllis, I know we're going off on a massive Office tangent. I'm so sorry, but I'm not sorry at the same time. Because we've never done an Office episode on Sunday show, because I'm the only person who fucking loves it. But Phyllis was just a casting director. It was just a casting call. She was the person who cast people. She was the person who did read-alongs and everything, and they fucking loved her, and The Office made her into the fucking star that she is, and now she's Sadness in Inside Out.
That's exactly what I was going to say. She's the voice of Sadness. Yes. And when you see Sadness as well, you're like, I can kind of see Phyllis.
Yeah. And she used to be a burlesque dancer. You know how they portray Phyllis in, well, that's her real name as well, but you know how they portray her in The Office is this bit of a like dark sex kitten. She really is.
But she's no Belschnickel.
She is no Belschnickel, and she is no Krampus. So yeah, we thought we would just do a little ditty to bring us back, because yes, for all you have seen us over the last few weeks, we have not seen each other through the last few weeks. We pre-recorded a lot of episodes as Dan was taking a holiday. It feels, honestly, it's ridiculous that is now over with.
Don't even. I said to Rob, it feels like it's been so long since we recorded, but yet doesn't feel long at all. So I'm really confused. Like, I know for everybody watching, this seems like a straight through next episode, but we pre-recorded last week's, Monday's Sleepaway Camp about a month ago now, I think.
It was because I think I was talking about the 24-hour live stream.
Yeah,
I'm sure it was like on the back of that, because I'd just seen Sleepaway Camp at Newcastle. So we haven't recorded for a long time. This is us back, and next week is our last episode of the year.
Yeah, because we're going to be that thing where we're going to go away and take notes and listen to Mike Kell tell us how we can improve. Sorry, Mike. Just literally, and go, if you want to have a very, very, very good, well-informed, high factually driven episode, go listen to The Thing, who we do feature Mr. Mike Kell himself.
Yes.
And for those of you that know him from the con scene, he is the Captain Spaulding himself. But those of you who don't, jump on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, go back and watch the Thing episode. He knows his stuff, does Mike. So
he does, and we will very much be having Mike back on.
Yes.
Along with other people next year. Yes. Next week is Black Christmas.
Yes.
Yes, and I'm really grateful that Dan told us there's 3 films, because I was like, I can do the one, and she's like, no, there's 3. I was like, oh, great.
Yeah, I mean, as I was saying to you before, for me, Black Christmas is a horror movie that's set at Christmas, so hence why I like it.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I've never seen it. I haven't watched it early because I want to watch it. I knew we were doing it leading. I knew we were doing it towards the end. But this is just the end of this year. We are going to take a break. We are going to get prepared for next year because we have so much we want to do.
Season 2 for
Season 2. Well, this episode will be up on Spotify and iTunes and anywhere you get your podcast from on a Tuesday. It will always be up on a Tuesday. Yes, Tuesday. Along with every other episode because I do them. So Mike, so you know, the audio goes up on a Tuesday. So yes, you can find us on iTunes, Spotify, and anywhere you get your podcast from. Like I mentioned, we are on YouTube every Monday at 7:00.
Correct.
Please remember to like, share, and what you do.
That goes 7 on my way, but I just realised it's probably that way.
I was going to say, it's not Tuesday. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit the notification bell so you can be reminded when episodes are coming out, even though we only have one more coming out for this year. But we will
go back and watch all the rest again.
Yeah, there's a lot to go through. Like, honestly, the one that I don't want to use the word proud of, but I really fucking loved doing was Pet Sematary. Didn't realize how much I love Pet Sematary until we did that episode. Sleepaway Camp last week was, I'm still blown away. I didn't think anyone would be interested. I genuinely didn't. Yeah,
it's hit quite a few random buttons with people. That one I've noticed, like it had like a really strange surge. It started off from the minute it finished.
Mm-hmm.
There was 42 views already. From the minute it finished.
Yeah, I actually watched it back because with it being so long, I was like, oh, I'll give it a watch. And I'm not going to lie, I do find us hilarious. Even though I was in the room, I still laugh me arse off at stuff. It's when we're trying to sell it and we're like, oh yeah, there's an actual pedalo as a character in this film. And it's like, please still go and watch it.
Yes, please do.
Well, we do have other episodes in our back catalogue. We've got The Invisible Man, we've got Wolfman, we've got Phantom of the Opera, we've got Mummy, if you like all your classics, Bride of Frankenstein. We've got some more up-to-dates like Chucky and Pennywise, Predator.
Featuring Creature from the Black Tattoo.
Yes, who we will, and I confirmed with Message, you're coming on next year.
He will. Yes. Mainly because Rob will tell him to and he'll do
it. It was lovely to see us all, though, especially like Creature. He was just in his element.
That man could sell sugar to shit. Honestly, I've never. All I know Gareth from doing is my tattoos and on here. Like, I never realised what a salesman he truly is, and my hat is doffed to such a. He helped us out of For the Love of Horror on the Sunday, and that he grafted. I gave him his due. So
he was hard at work when we were there. So yeah, we've got a whole load of back catalogue. We've got a whole load of stuff that we want to do next year. Mm-hmm. We are going to be expanding. That's what expanding is. Yeah. Bigger, getting bigger. But thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for taking part of our tangents.
Just putting up with my bullshit. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
it's fine. But we will be back next week for Black Christmas.
Correct.
Yeah, see, I remembered. Well, thank you all for watching and stay nerdy, everyone. Bye.